That's our cue. That's your cue, Callie.
I'm sorry, I missed the cue. I wasn't watching.
That's okay. You're new here.
I'm
That's
out
okay.
of
You're new.
practice. I really am out of practice. Hello.
Hello.
Everybody. Welcome to Riff and Ravel. We're so prepared. I mean, everyone else is. I'm not. But anyways, what could go wrong? I'm just the DM. Speaking of, I'm Callie. I'm the DM. You may not remember me because it's been a very long time, but I'm here. I try to run this game as best I can and keep everyone from killing each other. But, you know, things happen. Roll call.
Here.
Bucky.
No, Joe.
Joe. Sorry, Joe. This one is Joe. Hi, my name's Joe. I play the dwarf, Braddock. He is a fighter, and everybody loves him, and he's everybody's favorite little dwarf boy.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, my name is Dave, and I play the wonderful wizard called Bravo Quarks, who is very good at remembering things. And yeah.
Hello, I'm Travis. I play our generally friendly human druid named Carrion. Sometimes he talks. I don't remember what he sounds like, so he's going to have a lot of accents. We're going to go in and out. He's kind of like some really crappy Sean Connery impersonation. She wasn't telling me no, because I'm going to do it anyway. That was the dog. She was telling no. Yeah, he kind of talks like, not like this, but it's going to be sort of like that until I figure it out. All right.
Lauren.
Hi, I'm Lauren. I play the cleric, our nature cleric, North. She's been behaving herself. Like, we'll see what happens once we get into town with our newly transformed wizard.
Yeah.
What trouble we get into.
Well, speaking of which, the last time that we all gathered, a very, very long time ago, unfortunately. Anyways, what happened was our adventurers had made their way from Hundlestone up the other side of the spine of the world to the far north of Faerun, and they were making their way southward toward Luskan. As soon as the city came into view, the wizard, Bravo Quark, had some strong feeling about approaching the city. And when pressed, yes, Travis.
And North and I offered to drug him.
Yeah, we were totally ready to pull the PA Baraka.
Yes, there was talk of some like Animal House type shenanigans, but you know, they managed to convince Bravo to open up about his reservations about Luskan, and it was revealed that he has a bit of history in this city, perhaps that started his problems with his memory. Either way, some very negative memories, negative associations with Luskan. After he revealed a bit of his history to his companions, they managed to convince him to enter the city. Promises of protection, promises that they would not stay long, and he agreed, however begrudgingly. But before approaching the city, he altered his physicality to appear as a large man, muscle man.
Dave, can you flex for us to sell this?
It doesn't quite work with the sweater, but so this frail old elven wizard now appears as a young, buff human man, I believe.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Yeah, big muscle man. So,
he ate his Wheaties.
And everyone else's too.
as the five of you, as you also have Serac in your company from Bryn Shander.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he's still there. Yeah,
I forgot about that little bastard.
yep.
Well, we don't know that he's illegitimate.
You approach Luskin's North Gate, and as you do so, you can tell even from a ways off, sort of like as you can start seeing the people on top of the wall, the guards that are monitoring the path and the gate, that something's going on. They are on high alert. There's a lot of shouting. In fact, you can see a bit of smoke beginning to rise above the line of the wall. And as you approach, the guards actually stop you. They shout out, "Halt!" And, just they're not necessarily hostile, but they seem agitated, and they insist that you stop. So you're approaching along the road, and there's 4 guards perched above the gate, and one of them shouts, "Halt!" What is your business here?
We're hello, first off. Good morning to you. We're just, we're looking to secure a passage down the coast, a boat, or something.
We're not admitting any entry at the moment. You will need to either wait or carry on down the road.
But, fair do, but, why, pray?
And you see them sort of converse with each other, and they look back at you and say, "There's no admittance at this moment."
Yes, no, you've made that point very clear. But we were wondering why there's no admittance.
That's nice.
Yes, I believe what my friend is trying to say is maybe we can be of assistance. And he kind of motions to the fire with his staff in his hand. See, he's holding the staff. You can't see it's off screen, okay? He's pointing up there. Yes.
I'm sure that you are very capable. However, we do not know you. We are experiencing... We cannot let you in right now.
Yes, well, if it would help, I do have this letter, this missive from Lady Duvessa. It has her seal of approval on it, where we are carrying this. From Bryn Shander, specifically.
Who's Lady Duvessa?
Yes, I was hoping you would know that. Well, that's all for me then. And Gary
Yes.
turns around.
Yes, look, well, we do need into the town. Yes. Well, if you could, let us in. Yes.
Is he flexing at all while he's doing it?
I imagine he just like punctuate each word with a different flex. Yes, we're just looking to get in there, if you don't mind.
The guards sort of converse with each other again, and then he faces you all and says, "All right, look, if you want in the city, you're going to have to wait. Just stay there. We'll be back when you can come in."
Hello, what's it? He's gone.
They're already returning to their post. Somebody's keeping an eye on you, but they're not speaking. So you're sort of being left to your own devices as like you can still hear like shouting and stuff, and it's not like crazy loud, but something's going down.
How long has it been since the last time I casted Disguise Self.
You just did it.
You cast it within sight of the city, so like it's only been an hour or so. Is that how long it lasts?
Yep.
Yeah. So you're gonna have to keep casting it.
Okay. Well, that's not gonna happen.
Oh, this is a bit of an impasse. Hopefully they can clean up whatever's going on inside.
I'm still curious as to what that is.
So, does the wall to this town run all the way around? Can we peek over?
All the way.
Okay.
No, it's
stone, wood.
much too tall for it's stone. It's scarred. It's seen a lot of battles, but it's sturdy. It's tall and it goes all the way to the coast. All of you are aware of that. It's a heavily guarded town or city, I guess. There's the only points of entry are either by sea or through the gates.
How hostile of an action would you consider it to be for me to grow a vine up there? Climb it.
Well, considering you've had direct orders to wait outside the city, probably hostile unless you did it where nobody saw you.
Okay.
But there is a perimeter watch. So
I'm just gonna let this spell run out because there is no way in hell I'm casting this many more times.
okay. Nobody immediately notices.
Okay.
Yes, well, maybe we should set up camp here.
Is there any way to hear, get kind of like any more clues as to what the heck's going on the other side of the wall? Like,
I mean, you could roll a perception check. Any of you who want to listen can roll it. It's fine.
I'm a listen boy.
Okay. Oh, look at that. Natural 20 for your first roll of the night.
19 for
It's
me.
all downhill from here.
24.
All right. So the sounds that you're hearing that seem close to the wall just seem like barked orders, like the guards are being ordered, they're being directed. It doesn't seem panicked. It doesn't seem like anyone's super alarmed. It's more just like they're on alert. But you can hear things sort of drifting on the wind a bit that seem deeper in the city. It's hard to make out exactly, but I mean, you can see smoke, like I said earlier, sort of drifting above the wall a bit, but even that seems further off. It doesn't seem like major panic or anything, but something's happened.
Are there any birds nearby, crows or ravens?
Yeah, I would say, especially in this place, there's definitely
seagull.
birds around. Not quite where you are, but yes, there are seagulls
Any bagels?
closer to the coast.
Sorry.
No.
I'd like to take a bit of my trail ration and crumble it up and try to attract one of the birds. I intend to use speak with the animals.
Okay.
And talk to it.
Make an animal handling check to try and draw one to you.
I rolled an 11.
So it takes a little while, maybe about half an hour or so, but eventually you manage to entice one or two crows over. They're a bit nervous at first, but they are drawn to the promise of food. And
You show some sexy calf, and those crows come right in.
So there's two there that you can.
So I'm gonna cast Speak with Animals on myself and talk to the birds. I don't know if I talk like bird speak at them or they can just. I don't know. So I'm just gonna talk in Arian's voice.
Yes, that's fine.
Hello there, little things. Would you mind doing me a small favor? I can get you some more of this food here. I'd just like you to fly over the city and tell me what's going on. Maybe fly near the smoke and see what all the ruckus is inside.
Sure. Yeah. Food. Yeah. And they just kind of like take wing. They fly away. 10, 15 minutes later, they come back.
I think I would have sent Grillian up with the crows.
Okay. Have Grillian make a perception check.
I don't have Grillian character. One momento.
Ooh.
Perceptione.
Perception. Oh, another natural 20. There you go.
Ooh.
All right. So, Grillian reports telepathically there is a thick column of smoke coming from the harbor.
Two C's or one?
Just one.
With 3.
There's a lot of motion, a lot of action at the harbor, but it doesn't seem like it seems like the excitement's dying down. Heard me. People are sort of going about their business, but there's a huge fire on the water in the harbor. It's hard to tell exactly what it is with all the smoke from the air, but people are sort of standing watching nearby. Nobody's getting too close to it. Nobody seems too frightened at the moment or panicked or anything. There's not a lot of action going on at the moment. And that's all that they can really see, other than the city looks dirty. It's there's a lot of like dilapidated buildings, crumbling buildings. It looks like a nasty city. So the crows come back, they land. Grillian comes back and lands on your head. Curls her tail around your forehead. The crows land and they're looking for the food, and
so Carrion crumbles up a little bit. He obviously has more in his other hand, and he's kind of doing. I gotta let go of the push to talk button.
Yep.
He sprinkles some in, but making it obvious that he has more to go, and he like holds some out. Yes, all right then. Out with it. What did you see?
Fire, hot smoke, water.
Yes.
Boat.
A boat was on fire on the water. Very good. Anything else?
Oh man, these seagulls need to never leave this campaign now.
They're crows.
Lots of smoke. Food.
Yes, all right then.
Food?
Well done. And he crumbles up the rest of it, and
And they just start pecking at it. 2 of them. Doesn't quite hurt your hand, but they're getting kind of vigorous there. So just as you're sort of finishing up with that, the guards come back to the gate, the top of the gate, and they shout down, "All right, you've been given clearance to enter the city. You're from Bryn Shander, you said?"
yes, Bryn Shander.
"And you're looking for passage where?"
To Waterdeep.
"All right, well, open the gate. You have free passage into the city. If you need directions to the harbor, well, just follow the smoke."
So this whole time, North was just kind of waiting around because she saw what Carrion was doing. Was kind of like playing with Leaf a little bit, looking up in the sky and whatnot. And as the guy comes out and says, okay, we can enter, she finally like looks up and then starts to do a head count and looks at Bravo.
Yes. Hello.
Okay. And she's not going to say anything and is just going to kind of start walking forward and to see if he's going to fall. Because she's pretty sure he's aware, but maybe he isn't. Maybe she can just trick him without saying anything.
Yeah, I don't think Bravo would have realized that the spell has run out at this point in time.
She's going to play it cool. Okay, let's go, guys.
So the gates swing inward, slowly, heavy creaking, and you enter. And immediately inside the gates is actually a bridge that you must cross, and it's a wide bridge. But so there's a wide river that sort of cuts the city almost in half. And you cross it, but as you're sort of approaching the middle of the bridge, you can see now, almost straight down the river, a thick column of smoke coming from the harbor to the north side of the city. And the people that are on the south side of the river here, because you are approaching from the north side, so you're going towards the south side of the city, they seem to be excited, sort of like, gossipy almost. People are just sort of whispering and going about, but all of you notice immediately, like with your varying degrees of knowledge about Luskan, this is not like any other city you guys have seen. It has the presence of something that used to be a lot bigger, a lot greater than it is. There's just a lot of destruction, but like more like decay. Things just haven't been kept up. Things haven't been repaired. A lot of buildings sit empty, shuttered, or just abandoned. A lot of things are crumbling. There just doesn't seem to be a whole lot of people. I mean, there's people moving around, but for the size of the city, like within the walls, as you can sort of see more accurately now, it just feels sparse. It feels dark and grimy, especially since, it's almost winter now. The sun isn't shining as brightly or as intensely. It just seems overcast. You can smell both the smoke and, people's cook fire smokes, and just like a nasty stink that seems to permeate everything, like a combination of mud and refuse and rotting food, and you just feel grimy being here. Even you're passing a stable where the horses look, I mean, some of them look healthy, but they also appear to be not from here. Like guests have just stabled their horses. Some of them seem a little underfed, sort of the ribs starting to show under the coat, more like bugs flying around them. People that are walking by, some of them are dressed nicely, but a lot of them are just in whatever clothing they've managed to stitch together. Everything seems dirty. But so you're in the city now. You're in the south part. Where would you like to head?
This reminds me of Waterdeep. Something I'd rather not think about. Let's let's just get to the docks and go. Hopefully the ship is here.
Agreed. I think we should head straight there.
Remember, the the ship is called Dancing Waves. I think Duvessa said something about Coldwater being her aunt.
Yes. Well, as so long as we don't go near the ruins of the host tower, the quicker the better.
North has never been in such a polluted place before, and she usually has a really strong constitution, but it's kind of starting to wear on her. So she kind of like picked up her scarf and like is putting it over her mouth to kind of, you know, try and filter out some of it, but also like she's trying to look a little bit respectful because she's just disgusted. And it's hard for her to kind of accept this reality because she's only ever been in places that are really, you know, bright, filtered air with trees. So she's gonna kind of yeah, the faster the better. This is just, I can't handle this. And then she's gonna kind of look over at Bravo and like walk over to him, and if he lets her, she's gonna like kind of pull up his scarf a little bit and like tuck him a little to kind of like hide a little bit more of his visage area.
Yeah.
Here you go. And she's just going to continue not making a big deal that he has changed the way that he or has gone back to normal.
Yeah.
All right. So you make your way towards the harbor words. So there's actually two dock areas. There's a dock area on the south side of the river and on the north side of the river. The one on the north side is where the smoke is coming from.
Oh, I hope that's not the boat we want aboard.
Fingers have been crosses the whole time.
All right.
I mean, it probably is.
Don't metagame. It's not. Be positive. Callie, is there like a dock worker or somebody who looks like they belong at the docks or something?
Where you are currently, you're more in like the market area. So this is like tradespeople, vendors. Everybody kind of looks the same. There's a lot of like shady figures. A lot of people like lurking in alleys and stuff. Like you feel immediately watched in this place, even if nobody seems to be paying you particular attention. It just feels like there's always eyes on you, and everybody knows the reputation that Luskin has. It's less than nice.
So, Karen, specifically, well, yes, let's make sure nobody wanders off and stick together. North, did you hear that?
Sorry, what? And she was just distracted by looking at the things around her.
I said, let's stick together. Make sure you don't get separated. This is the last place you want to find yourself alone.
Oh, yeah. And she's going to definitely tighten her rein in and be quite a bit closer to Carrion.
I think we should head down to the docks and see if we can find a worker down there. And hopefully they can direct us towards the ship.
Let's go.
So Braddock is kind of like trying to stay in front of the group, just trying to like walk out. But, you know, he's not 10, 20 feet in front of them. He's just immediately in front of them. And he doesn't have his axe drawn, but his hand is just constantly on it.
Yep. Which seems like a pretty common stance, at least for people who seem to not be from here. Like you can tell the vendors and tradespeople who are in the market that are dressed more nicely. Their clothing's a little more clean, a little less stitched and worn. They seem to either they themselves have a weapon or they have someone standing next to them and their wares who is heavily armed and armored sometimes. So you make your way. Are you going to the south harbor or the north?
I suppose whatever's closest at this point. Which one's the closest?
Well, you're on the south end of the city, south of the river. So you make your way there, and
without the smoke, right? Or with?
Correct.
Without.
But not fire.
Yeah.
This is where our ship is, for the record.
So you make your way through the streets, and it all just sort of looks the same, with varying degrees of like decay and filth. But you do pass a couple sort of properties that are well kept, that seem well guarded, fenced off. Probably the wealthier people of the city. And you make your way towards the harbor, and as you go, it seems to get like shadier and shadier, if that's even possible in this city.
Great.
Well, you know, the people start to look rougher. Like there's a lot more scars. There's a lot more weapons. These people start to look more like sailors, and there's a lot more sort of ruckus. People sort of shouting and laughing and drinking and like passing out in the gutters, and even in the middle of the day. And, so you make your way down, and eventually you get to the docks. There's lots of activity here. There's lots of people loading and unloading ships. There's people, going into and out of buildings and bars, and just a lot of people moving. There's a lot of shouting, a lot of conversation, a lot of noise. It feels a lot more like a city here than it did as you walked through the city.
Carrion would purposely be looking for someone who appears to be working. They're not idling about. They actually have a job to do and are doing it.
Okay. There's a number of people sort of standing on the docks that seem to be directing other people. Even people on some ships that are directing the on-take or removal of product and crates and whatever. So there's a lot of people who are working.
Okay. Yes, that's probably fine to ask them. Does anyone speak sailor?
Well, I just imagine it's common, but with more swearing.
I'm afraid that's something I'm not well versed in. Well, Carrion just walks up. Actually, no. He would let Braddock lead the way. Still lead the way. Not that he's far out like he said, but
Yeah. All right.
Braddock doesn't immediately pick up that he's got the lead, and he's still like watching just some people on the periphery of the group, and there's just a long, awkward pause. Oh, so it's to me then,
yes,
is it?
Just over there. And Carrion would just kind of tap him on the shoulder with his staff, and then point with the end of the staff whom he was speaking about. Yes,
Braddock doesn't.
We should ask them.
Braddock doesn't quite. All right. Yeah, oh. And so in full, his armor and his jingly janglies that he always has when he walks, he kind of puffs out his chest, and just walks up to the nearest dockhand, like someone who's actually doing work, not like a layabout or something like that, but like somebody that's moving a crate. Somebody whose day he can inconvenience by shoving himself into his life.
Well, there's some people moving crates. There's a guy, a half-orc man, who's consulting a list as he's shouting orders to people. Are
there two people moving from point A to point B while holding a large pane of glass?
No.
Or perhaps a cellar?
No, there are large crates being shifted from ship to shore, but no glass.
So as they as he starts walking forward, he looks over his shoulder. What was the name of the boat again? The waves. What was it?
Dancing. The dancing waves.
Dancing waves. Right. And so he walks up to the half orc, who's shouting orders, and he just shoves himself into the guy's life. Excuse me, sir, good master half orc. A word if you don't mind.
One.
Boat.
There's lots of those here.
Yes, apologies. You only allowed me one word. If I could have a few more, I'd prefer that we're looking for a boat called the... He looks really quickly back at the rest of the group. Dancing Waves.
Never heard of it.
I thought it was the Drowning Wagon.
It was absolutely not the Drowning Wagon. Thank you. That will be all from you. Bravo. The Dancing Waves, if you could, please point us in that direction. Thank you, sir.
Never heard of it. As far as I know, it's not here.
What about the other harbor? Could it be up there? Possibly on fire?
No.
By the by, not to intrude, but why is your northern harbor on fire right now?
The harbor's not on fire. Intruders are on fire.
You've intruders in your city.
Well, not my city, but yeah.
In this city.
Did have.
What happens here on a day-to-day basis that allows for intruders to sally out from whatever ne'er-do-well dark crevice on a daily basis? What?
Have you been to Luskin before?
Not as often as I'd like.
This place is run by pirates.
Fair enough.
The attack was actually giants, so, you know.
Oh, now that is interesting, he says, casting side-eye over at Bravo. You say giants attacked your city?
Well, they tried.
What kind of giants were these giants?
The big kind.
Perfect. Well described. Thank you, sir.
A bit racist.
Was that said in character?
No.
Oh god, it would have been awesome. So Braddock just continues. If you're not aware of the Dancing Waves being a ship, is there a manifest here on the docks that the five of us could peruse to see if it's around?
Well, the harbor master might have something, but last I checked, he was drunk in the gutter, so... Good
right.
luck.
Well, where is the harbor master's office? Surely he's a second in command we could take our issue up with.
Well, just back the way you came, to the right a little, there's a little hut that's sort of at the base of the wharf there. You could probably maybe find someone in there. I don't know. We just come in, unload, and do our business.
All right. Just out of curiosity, do you happen to know precisely which gutter I might find the harbor master in?
Probably in front of the Cutlass.
And where or what, pray tell, is the Cutlass?
The tavern. Just that way.
Thank you. You have been indispensable. So he turns around and kind of like addresses the group. Have you all caught all of them?
Yes.
Well, categorically, I've catalogued nearly all of it.
Oh, have you? Do
Yes,
please recite everything you've heard so far.
Well, we are meeting the captain at the Cobblestone Inn, and perhaps the boat that is on fire is the one that we need to chart here, a voyage on.
Absolutely flawless. You've not gotten a single thing wrong. Carrion, if you will. And he sets off.
Carrion looks. Did Bravo just start walking?
No, Braddock did.
No, I mean Braddock. Damn it, Braddock just started going. By the way, I just remembered. We passed you. We drove on you. Braddock.
Excuse me?
Oh,
We drove on Braddock Street. We drove right through it.
Really?
there's a Braddock.
Where's that?
It's in
I
LA.
think it has
In Culver City.
I was so excited. We were on our way to the private show match for LA Valiant Overwatch team. And I'm driving along, and I'm like, what street is that? Braddock Street. Driving along. Oh my god, it's Braddock Street! I was taking a picture.
Wow, you guys got to go back and steal that sign.
That's funny.
It'd be a hell of a job. It was on like the signal the signal pole.
Yeah,
You can
maybe
do it.
don't do that. We don't want you to go to jail.
I believe in you.
Anyway.
So Braddock just kind of like takes off walking on his own then? Is that what happens?
Yeah. Well, no. Carrion looks a bit puzzled at Braddock, and then to Bravo. Yes. What did he want me to do then?
Aren't we supposed to find the harbor master in the gutter?
Yes, I gather that much, but let's just follow. It seems like he has a plan.
Well,
If I could steal a narrator for a moment, he didn't have a plan.
Wow, we couldn't have guessed.
surprise, surprise.
So Braddock, like once the rest of the group catches up, after he's out of earshot of the half orc. All right, where are we going?
I thought we were. Now I'm just copying you, damn it.
You can do a lot worse, I suppose.
Yes, well, I thought we were just doing the thing. What was it called? Harbor Master. Yes, well, I thought we were going to the Harbor Master. This voice is really tough.
You
You're
got
at
it.
You're good at it.
Practice in the off week so you don't lose
I
it.
don't.
Yeah.
I should. You're right, I should. Yes, well, I thought we were going to the Harbor Master's hut and find his, what did you call it? Second in command?
Gutter?
No, Bravo. The harbor master is currently in the gutter. I think that the five of us, and he like leans every time he says the five of us, he leans over and looks at Serac, like to remind himself that Serac's still. I think that the five of us should all stay together and perhaps first try the harbor master's office or the tavern, whichever we all think we should go to. Wherever we go, we should all go together. He looks around at the cesspool that he's currently floating in.
Yes, agreed. Just a moment. And Carrion turns around and is just staring out over the harbor, just counting ships. Were there any more ships beyond the one that the half orc guy was at?
Yeah, there's about half a dozen ships at the docks.
Oh,
So we just
was
gotta
the
get dancing waves, dancing waves. Okay. Yes, well, I suppose we could go ship to ship, but you know what they say about that.
Are there any ships that have their name like painted on the bow?
Yeah.
Can I see if any are the dancing wave?
Make a perception check.
Okay.
Dave, can I make a suggestion?
16, yeah.
Does Grillian know how to spell?
You sort of walk up and down a bit just to get an angle on the ships, and none of them are named the Dancing Wave.
Okay. I'm not going to metagame it. I'm sorry, Jack.
It's okay.
got increasingly nervous when she overheard, like she was cherry picking the words that she was, and once it kind of came to the conversation about what actually happened, and
Ooh,
why am I
yeah, that was
focusing?
weird.
What the fuck?
I think it focused on your hand.
Yeah. She started to feel increasingly worried. So she still got her scarf over her mouth. And as they start walking, she keeps like looking over her shoulder. And she's going to walk up behind Carrion and kind of tug on his cloak.
Coat.
Yeah. Oh, yes, North. What can I help you with?
You heard that too, right? A giant attack.
Yes, I didn't want to mention it at the time, but yes, concerning. And odd that the harbor's on fire. So either they floated the corpses into the harbor, or it was sea giants.
But they said they drove them away. How can they possibly drive away giants?
Yes, well, we did. And are the walls here taller than Brinchander and more reinforced?
Yes, they're much more robust.
And the walls here are much more robust.
But Carrion, I negotiated with them. I had them walk away. We couldn't take them on physically.
Yes, about that I disagree.
I almost
Aren't you full of yourself today? All
If
right,
I
well.
hadn't cast my tiny hat, we would have been fine.
I had one more good zap left. Well, actually, I had a lot more good zaps left.
She's going to speak. Well, I don't want to stay here any longer, so if maybe we should just try and find the office, and if no one's there, break in.
Yes, let's not break in, especially in this town.
You mean especially in this town, we should possibly make our way in. You know, the door could be unlocked.
Yes, but if you recall, the town is run by pirates, and I don't think we can expect to be treated fairly if we are found to be dishonoring any of their laws.
It's fine. Braddock will figure it out.
Braddock pipes up. I'm sorry. Braddock will do what now?
Let's go to the office.
At least that I can agree with.
Perfect idea. I like it.
All right.
Best
so,
idea all day.
Sort of at the base where the docks meet the land, it's really kind of a hut, like a shack. It's one room. The door is unlocked, and is actually standing open at the moment. And so you walk in, and there's a person standing behind a desk, and they are sort of hunched over just paperwork spread all across this desk. There's books on shelves around the walls, but they seem to not be like storybooks or anything. It's ledgers. And this person is just like scribbling and cross-referencing and scribbling some more, and they don't even look up when you enter. It's a young man, human, sort of sandy brown hair. He's got glasses on, and he just is sort of scribbling furiously.
So Carrion motions to Serac to go talk to him.
He just sort of looks like, what do you want me to say?
Well, you guys all take a break and let the NPCs talk to each other.
Wait a minute. I think you have a better grasp of the situation here. Why don't you do this?
Yes, well, I figured you read books. He writes many things. All right, fine.
books. I also read books.
Yes, yes, you do, Bravo.
Perhaps I could talk to him.
As long as you agree to an interpreter.
What do you mean? We're speaking the same language. I don't.
Yes, to varying degrees. Yes, we are.
Well,
The young man looks up and he just sort of is looking at you over his glasses. He's like, "Can I help you?"
yes. Hello. I see you're fast at study. Perhaps you might be able to help us.
With what?
Well, we're looking for perhaps a record or maybe a ledger of a particular seafaring vessel.
You're looking for a ship.
Yes,
Okay. What ship?
the winged Danceroni.
That's not. The Dancing Waves is the ship we are looking for.
Yes,
That's the one.
that. Well, I believe we are saying the same thing, but yes, that one.
She's not in harbor today.
Was it in harbor previously here?
Like, ever?
Recently, I think he means recently.
Yes. Well,
Or the last time.
in the past few days, perhaps.
He starts flipping through his book and not in the last few days.
Yes, well, could you perhaps find out the last, maybe the last 10 entries, and we can average it out to see when they're in harbor, and maybe make a pie chart or a line graph or something?
I don't really have time for that. Is this a merchant ship? Where does she hail from?
I don't know if she's a merchant ship. I would assume so. She hails from Waterdeep.
Waterdeep. All right. Well, we get a few ships from Waterdeep. No. I mean, I'm going back a few 10 days. I don't see any water dancer. She might be too good for the likes of Luskin, depending on what she
Dancing
carries.
Waves, not water dancer. Dancing Waves.
Oh,
specifically.
dancing waves. Yeah, no, still don't see that. Well,
Anything
2
about-
months ago.
Oh,
All
2
right.
months ago. Okay. Like at least like she totally docks you, man. I didn't mean to slip into that.
Yeah, didn't stay long. Dropped some cargo, picked some up. Hasn't been back since, though.
This might be maybe outside of your area of expertise, but perhaps do you know where it is now?
Outside of this harbor, I don't have any information. I'm paid to mark who comes in here and what they bring. That's it.
Carrion looks a bit frazzled. Yes, well, are there any other ships here from Waterdeep?
From Waterdeep? No, but there's
their
some
way
going to
Oh,
Waterdeep.
Yes, that.
Yeah.
And if I may, any are there any reputable ships going to Waterdeep? I would prefer not to get a knife in my back.
This is your first time in Luskin, huh? Well, let's see here. Well, we've got Foam Splitter. It's probably as reputable as you can get here right now. She's headed to Luskin.
Yes. What about Waterdeep, though?
Or Waterdeep, that's what I meant.
Oh, yes.
That ship is headed to where
It's
we
headed
are.
to where we are right this moment.
And do you know when they depart for this place? Or for that plate?
Do y'all have any idea which way them ships is going?
That's what I wanted to ask.
She's slated to head out tomorrow.
What your job is to mark what the ships have on cargo. The Wibbly Dibbly. What did it have in its holds
The dancing
last time
waves. He means the dancing waves.
it got here?
I
He's
am
talking about the dancing
not
waves.
at liberty to discuss the content of these ships. A lot of them are under a certain contract of privacy.
Well, what if we didn't care about that?
My employers do.
Yes. How much do you get paid a day?
Quite a lot, but, well, not as much as I would like. It's more the danger to my well-being that keeps me doing my job.
Yes, well, we do have a missive from Lady Duvessa, and I don't expect you to know who she is, and that's fine. I don't mean any insult by this. But we should be eventually on friendly terms with this ship. So what about 5 silver? Just 5 silver and the cargo information, maybe? I mean, I give you the silver, of course.
I understand. However, the cargo contents are between you and the captain.
Yes, but the captain isn't here right now, and if we can surmise the last cargo they brought, or if we can... Just trying to make a guess if they will be here, if we should wait, or if we should go.
Well,
There's 5 silver in it for you.
the dancing wave is not a regular to our port. Whether she'll be back or not, I can't say. If her home port is Waterdeep, you'd probably have better chances of finding that information there. As for cargo, it's a cargo ship. I mean, Luskin really only moves certain product. Mostly scrimshaw from the north. Whatever goods are brought in.
If you can't say, you can't say. That's all right. Well, thank you for your help. And Carrion, just defeated, turns around.
North's gonna speak up and come up to the table and ask, so foam splitter, is that in this harbor or in the other one?
Whitesail Harbor to the north? No. That's the militia harbor. That's not trade stuff. Foam splitter's here. Our captain's probably in the north end, though, over at One-Eye Jack's, but I mean, if you want to gain passage on the ship, you'll probably have to talk to the captain. So, you know, she's run by Zhao Han. She's
What kind of person is this captain? Like, who should we be looking for?
well, she got quite the personality. Feisty, doesn't take crap. you know, well armed. Got long black hair, usually in a braid.
Great. Long black hair, braid. Not to be insensitive, but type of a person.
She's
Are
a
you looking for
human.
a human? Okay.
Yeah, she's human. Yeah, she's probably at the bar on the north end.
Is there anything that we could possibly say to make us seem a bit more well received? We do need to get out of here as quick as possible.
Tell her you got money, as long as it's true.
Oh yeah, we don't have to worry about that. She's gonna kind of like side eye look at Braddock.
Yes. Carrion looks back. Yes, we do have to worry about money because we don't have a very lot of it.
Or an endless supply of it.
She'll talk to them later about the airs she's trying to put on. Now I'm completely lost what I was going to say.
That's okay. Her first mate is just on the wharf over there, unloading the ship. His name's Wrath.
I'm coming back.
He comes.
Keep going.
You could probably talk to him if you need to find her. He's a half-orc fella.
Oh, yes.
Half-orc. I believe we met him.
Oh, well, there you go.
For the direction. Sorry to intrude on your day.
No problem. Part of my job.
Okay, guys, let's go.
All right. So, as you all leave the Harbor Master office, we're going to go ahead and take a break because I have to pee really bad.
Me also.
So we'll be back in 10 minutes, so quarter after. In the meantime, I'd like to give a shout out to our friend Anne over at Curious Crafts. She is super talented, super crafty. She makes miniatures. She makes like in-person map landscapes that are just so freaking amazing. She's done like a mushroom forest, and she's doing like a frost thing, and it's just so creative. If you go over to her Twitch, twitch.tv/curiouscrafts, you can like craft along with her. She shows you how to do it. It's so awesome. She's great. She's so nice, super helpful, very encouraging, just all around great person. Go give her a look, give her a follow if you feel like it. Go watch her stuff. She's great. She helps us a lot, and we really appreciate that. And makes me want to do crafts again. She's so good. So we're going to be back in about 10 minutes, and we'll see you then. Okay?
Ew.
Hello! Welcome back.
I was here all along.
Sure, let's go with that. So, without further ado, our gang of adventurers have just left the harbor master's office.
Oh, as soon as we get outside,
Yeah.
is there anyone like real close around us? Any peeps that we don't know?
There's people moving back and forth, sort of immediately across sort of the street that is right at the shorefront here. There's a line of buildings. So there's people going in and out of those. There's kinds of people.
Okay. So as long as no one is in really close proximity, Carrion is going to kind of stop off to one side and motion for North to come over to him close and kind of like bring her into a little huddle.
Oh, Braddock's gonna join.
Okay.
Does she let me do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, North, I understand this is your first time in this type of city, and you must be very careful about waving around any kind of money. Whether it's true that you have the money or not, it does not matter, and no matter how much money it is. That little statement in there could cause us severe problems.
But don't we also want them to know that, you know, they're still like we can handle, we're not just like gonna scam them or anything?
Yes, they will know we will not be, as you say, scamming them when we actually show them the coin. These kind of things usually get paid up front and in person. We do not want to go around advertising that we have any amount of coin. More so than we already are. And he kind of like looks at Braddock in his full battle regalia.
Okay, Dad. And she's gonna walk away. She understands the concept. She's just not admitting that she's wrong. And she's gonna turn around and start heading back towards Wrath at the dock.
Okay. He's not too far away. You got to sort of wind through the people and all the crates that are being moved, but eventually you come back up to him, and he's still got his sort of sheet of paper, and he's shouting orders at people up on the ship. And, he sort of notices you approaching, and yes.
Hi. We just learned that your name is
Wrath. Yes.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. So we hear that you'll be heading back to Waterdeep tonight or tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yes.
We were wondering if we could maybe tag along. We just have to get to.
I'm just the first mate. You gotta talk to the captain.
Okay, that we can do. Where are they?
She.
The captain's over at One-Eyed Jack's on the north end of the river.
If we heard correctly, human woman, long black.
Yep. Jow.
Is she? But just like we would know her when we see her.
Well, I mean, she'll probably be in the middle of a fight or something, but, you know, maybe you'll catch her on a good night and she's just drinking.
And I'm assuming it wouldn't be free, right?
No.
Guesstimate price rate?
I mean, price is up to the captain. If you've got applicable skills, that might knock some coin off of what it would cost to ship you to Waterdeep, but if you don't mind me saying, you don't seem like the seafaring type.
We're more of the keep your boat safe type.
I can be useful. She's clearly offended.
Well, I mean, there's plenty of use for that kind of work, especially in these waters. You might be able to talk her down a bit, especially if she's into her cups. But you didn't hear that from me.
Yes, no, we didn't hear anything from you.
North got a great. North is just like, ding. Well, thank you, and I guess we're off to find this place. General area of this one-eyed giant besides North.
Well, if you take the second bridge, you don't want to take the first bridge here. That'll take you to Ship Kurth. You don't want to go there. Second bridge across. It'll take you to the north, the Mirbar district. It is pretty easy to find from there. There'll be like a steady stream of people towards it. It's really the only place of interest up there. It's mostly just warehouses and that. You should probably hear the shouting or the music or whatever. It's right near the bridge, so.
Perfect. Thank you. Maybe see you later. And she's gonna turn around and begin walking off towards the second bridge.
He goes back to his work.
She's gonna turn after she's out of earshot of she's gonna turn to Carrion. I have an idea. Once we find her, we are buying her drink. We're gonna become friends in that way, because he did say that maybe we can catch her.
Yes, catch her what?
Like, off guard, you know.
Oh yes, yes. That sounds like a fantastic plan, actually. And we do have a resident drinker.
It just goes right past Braddock.
Yeah. All right. So, you, if you basically hug the riverbank, you can see sort of immediately off the shore here, as you make your way away from the docks. There's a bit of a wall as well as sort of additional protection against any sort of seaward attack. You make your way around that. You see a couple islands where the mouth of the river meets the sea, and there's one connected by a bridge sort of immediately past this wall, and there's a sort of, well, for this city, large and elaborate building on that island. Actually, a couple, but it seems very well fortified. This is probably the Ship Kurth that he mentioned. And then across from that, actually on an island closer to the middle of the river, is where the ruins of the host tower of the Arcane lie. And Bravo, you remember this structure towered over the city, even as sort of far away from the other buildings as it is positioned sort of in the middle of this river. It was a massive construct, and it you can see the rubble, the base of the building, but you actually also see a lot of people moving around it. There seems to be some sort of like construction or something going on. There's a lot of people like moving rock, moving rubble. They don't seem to be clearing it away. They seem to be like organizing it almost. But there's also a lot of people who are like consulting books and like spell books. There's a lot of activity around the base of the tower there.
Braddock's just gonna stop a passerby, kind of, tap him on the shoulder as they're walking past, and he's gonna kind of thumb over at the tower ruins. Say, friend, what's going on at your tower there?
The rubble?
Yes. What's what are they playing at there?
I don't know. There's talk of them rebuilding something.
What is it? What was there before?
Like a century back, almost. There was a tower, but long before me.
Host Tower of the Arcane.
That's the one.
I know, Brett. Thank you, my friend.
So,
Braddock, I knew. Bravo. I knew what was there. You told me outside the city. It was. Never mind. We should be off.
So Carrion walks. He puts himself in between Bravo and vision of the tower, and like just walks next to him to block line of sight.
Bravo Corks would have stopped as soon as he saw the tower and stood there looking at it.
Carrion would stop next to him and just staff in the right hand and put his left hand on Bravo's shoulder. I'm sorry about what happened, but now is not the time to linger on it.
Yes, well, I suppose the past is the past and all that, but I can't help but... Never mind, let's go.
Yes, I think that's for the best, especially if you are concerned for your safety for coming back here. No need to linger.
Yes, well, it's a good thing that I look like a very strong human.
No, Braddock. Bravo.
Yes. And Carrion looks visibly confused. Yes, that is a very good thing indeed.
So not far beyond that bridge and those couple islands is another bridge, which spans the whole river. There's an island in the middle as well, but these bridges just sort of go across it. There's a lot of foot traffic coming to and from, even a couple smaller like wagons, moving product from the harbor up to, you assume, the warehouses that Wrath mentioned. So you sort of join the traffic there and make your way across the bridge, and you can see whatever is in the harbor is still burning. And so you make your way into the Mirabar district. And like he said, most of these buildings seem to be warehouses. They're plain, they're big, no windows, lots of guards. This seems to be some sort of storage for the trade goods. They're not being moved immediately. But there is a slightly smaller building that seems to be an inn and a tavern. There's a lot of people flowing in and out of it. Seems to be a lot of noise coming from inside, and the sign hanging from it says One-Eyed Jack. What do you do?
So, North's plan is to befriend the captain with booze?
It's as solid a plan as any, I suppose.
Just gotta find her first. Or second. maybe we should have someone else find her for us, and then we can just bring her some stuff to drink.
Yes, but in this town, would you trust someone just walking up with a mug of who knows what?
I mean,
I believe a sealed brand new bottle would go farther than a mug. At least more trustworthy, anyway.
whatever it takes. Let's go. And she's gonna kind of like sort of start walking and hope that someone walks in front of her before she reaches the door.
Oh, Braddock's out front. Yeah, Braddock goes first. Braddock rushes in.
All right. So you enter the tavern, and as you do, there's people sort of shouting and laughing, but you immediately notice that everyone's attention is sort of drawn to this one figure who's like standing up on a table, and the varying degrees of attention are focused on him, but he seems to have the attention of most of the room. And it's an old human man, and his skin is weathered and cracked from sun and exposure. He's got thinning hair, and you notice as he's waving his hands, he's got 2 fingers missing from his left hand. And he seems to be in the middle of a story. And so as you walk in and sort of acclimatize to the situation, you hear him sort of shouting dramatically. Just as they were getting confident in themselves, the sky darkened overhead. Looking up, not a single person was able to react before flame and lightning struck the group, raining down on us from the enormous shape of old Snarl. He was bigger than one of those giant ships burning in the harbor. His wings seemed to span the entire valley. When the dust and flames settled and the survivors dared to move, the red dragon laughed. Such a deep, resounding sound. We few could hardly hold our feet beneath us. He told us to leave if we wished to live, for we had not put up much of a fight. He was growing bored. As we ran, his voice followed us, echoing along the walls of the valley, back again and again. You live only by the grace of Klaus. The tavern erupts into a mix of applause and laughter. Clearly, this is not a new story to these patrons. All right, Alston, a young woman with sharp gray eyes, brown hair pulled up into a loose bun, waves him on. You've had your time to share, now buy a drink or get out. That's the scene that you walk into. There's lots of empty tables around, lots of patrons moving to and from. Seems pretty lively. There's a person playing a lute over in the corner. Some of them are paying attention, some of them not. It just sort of fades into the background. What are you looking for?
Captain Lane.
Yeah.
Bravo Quirks would walk up to the bartender and be like, yes, well, perhaps I can buy a drink for that magnificent storyteller.
Sure. You just want ale?
Whatever he's drinking, yes.
The woman, the one that waved him off, all right. And so she pours a bottle out, and that'll be a silver.
Yes. And I put a silver on the table.
All right. She waves over a barmaid and points out, this is for Alston. Go take it to him. And the young woman grabs it and takes it over to the man. He sort of is quite pleased at the arrival of it. What are the rest of you doing?
North is looking for a black-haired human, while the rest go up to the bar. She's just kind of like lingering behind, trying to scope it out.
All right, make a perception check.
18.
All right. It's pretty busy in here, but you sort of quickly scan and you notice a table sort of in the corner away from the door. There's you didn't spot her quite at first, but she's wearing a hat. But she does have a braid sort of hanging down over her shoulder, and she's currently in the middle of like an arm wrestling match with this big burly dude, bald head, scars down his back and arms, and he's like, and they're just back and forth, and people are sort of shouting and cheering her on, and seems to be quite an affair.
As soon as she catches sight of her, she's gonna like tap Carrion. I think she's over there. Arm wrestling?
Yes, indeed. That does appear to be a lady that fits the description.
Should we ask if they know what she likes to drink? Maybe she'd be more receptive to that.
Instead of bringing her a drink, why not just... Hopefully she wins and she'll be in a good mood, and then we can offer to buy her a drink and order one there.
Well, you know more about this than I do.
That's about the extent of it. And then he looks at Braddock.
I believe we should hedge our bet here. If you'll all come with me, and he heads over to the bar and kind of summons the bartender.
The woman with the silver eyes comes over. Yes. What can I get for you?
Yes, a bottle of some hard liquor. Whiskey, do you have?
Yeah, we have some whiskey.
Good then. A bottle of that.
The good stuff or the good stuff?
Well, nothing ventured, nothing gained. A bottle of the good stuff, I suppose.
All right, that'll be a gold.
All right. Braddock reaches into his pouch and hands over a gold. Thank you.
Drops the bottle in front of you. Enjoy.
Two glasses, please.
Drops them in front of
about to lean in and nudge him, and then he's back.
Yeah. She plinks them down.
Thank you.
Anything else?
No, thank you. So he's for whatever reason he's like nervous. He's like, all right, well, and he kind of musters himself up. Stay close and
Braddock.
Wish me luck.
Yes, well, we're not asking you to seduce this lady. Just have a few drinks with her is all.
I wasn't going to... Look, just stay close.
Yes,
please.
I'll be along. And when she asks if there's anything else, he kind of raises his hand. Yes, I'll have a mug of beer.
All right, that'll be a silver.
And he tosses
Braddock
one
stands
on the
there.
counter. No,
She-
anything for you?
Are you buying?
This time.
Glass of wine, please.
All right. And she has to sort of go away from where the tap is and goes and collects a glass and a bottle and pours a glass. And... 2 silver for the wine.
Thank you.
I gave you the good vintage.
She's gonna like kind of give her like that kind of flirtatious thank you and pick up the glass and take a sip of it.
It's vinegary.
It's not the best wine, but it'll do.
Quote unquote good stuff.
As you guys turn away from the bar, you hear like a slam on the table and like a oh, as some people cheer and some people as you turn and see this woman has slammed this burly man's arm into the table, you know, glasses and beer going everywhere, and he's just sort of like stunned, and the woman just sort of leans back, scoops money off the table, and puts it into her pocket. Better luck next time.
Braddock like straightens himself. I suppose that's our entrance, and let's go quickly while she's still paused.
So as you approach, she's like downing the rest of her drink, and she slams it on the table, and her boots go up on the table as she leans back in her chair, and she's talking to some people, but notices you out of the corner of her eye.
Hello. Yes. Hello. This is for you. And he takes the bottle and hands it to her, but realizes that it's still corked. And then he takes the bottle back and bites the cork out of it, and then he pours 2 glasses of the whiskey into, so he's kind of very awkwardly holding the 2 glasses in one hand. And then he fills them both with whiskey, and he puts one in front.
Well, thanks. And she picks it up and downs it.
He didn't
Slams it
slide
on
the
the table.
second one. He didn't slide the second glass over.
What are we celebrating?
Well, sorry to say, but this is a bit of a transactional deal. And he looks over at Serac. 5 of us need passage on your ship.
On my ship? You're heading to Waterdeep, I assume, then?
Oh, thank goodness, you are the captain of the ship we need, yes.
Oh, I should hope so. I would think you would know who you're addressing when you offer such alcohol. And she pushes both empty glasses back towards you.
Well, we had an educated guess to start with. The veracity of your consumption helped a lot. Oh, here! And then he hands the bottle to her.
She takes it.
North is like, she normally doesn't pick up on these kinds of things, but also knows that if like she won something and someone's giving her like attention, she'd want to be flattered a little bit more. So she kind of like takes a sip of her wine and walks in and goes, "Oh gosh, what was her name?
Django?
Django? Like
Dingo?
It was that. It was that. It was Django.
Bingo?
It was Django Fett, I'm pretty sure. 100%.
Jango
Stop
Fett.
She fills both glasses again and pushes one towards Braddock.
Braddock,
I can't remember. She's not going to say the name. She's just going to kind of walk in and be a little fangirlish. Wow, that was some display.
Yes, indeed.
After she downs her whiskey, Braddock slides the glass over to her. It's all yours. Help yourself.
Fair enough. She just grabs the bottle and... Well, we're off to a good start.
Braddock clasps his hands together. So, about passage then.
Indeed. 5, you said.
The 5 of us, yes. Plus goods, and 2 droids, and no questions asked. No. Yes, the 5 of us to Waterdeep, please. And thank you.
All right, well, that'll be 25 gold for the 5 of you.
Just a moment, and he kind of like steps back from the table, just by himself. He doesn't beckon anyone. He just steps back from the table.
What is it? Does he appear like he's going to be reaching into his purse immediately?
No, no.
Okay.
Take your time.
And now he realizes that he never did tell anyone to come with him, and he kind of motions the rest.
Carrion had been kind of lingering behind him anyway.
Bravo Corks is still at the bar.
All right.
Oh God! I missed that. So Braddock's gonna look around and see that there's no Bravo. And Serac, go and get Bravo quickly.
Well, I was standing there, so I heard the 25 gold as well. Carrion probably called. She's gonna look to both of them to see if that is even a fair price. 5 gold per person. She doesn't know how long it's gonna take to get to Waterdeep, so she's really gonna be. I mean, she's obviously willing to pay it, if that's a fair price. But she also kind of is like, is anyone gonna negotiate? So she's just kind of like,
Yes, Braddock. He kind of keeps down. Yes, I can't help but noticing you're kind of folding like a wet tunic.
Well, she's ever so strong, isn't she? He's impressed. He
Yes.
likes her.
Yes, and what are you? Cow dung? Have some fun with yourself.
No, that's not my point. It's just 25 gold pieces is a bit steep, and we should talk her down. But Serac, have you fetched Bravo yet?
Serac approaches Bravo and gently leads him back to the group.
Bravo at this point has a mug of whiskey.
A mug of whiskey?
Mug of whiskey.
Yeah, how much would that cost?
Like,
Yeah.
Probably like 3 silver.
Oh yeah, Bravo Corks is all about that.
Yeah.
all right.
Most of a bottle, so.
Yeah.
Realizing that this encounter is very quickly going off the rails for our intrepid party, Braddock is just watching everything fall apart in front of him. He's watching the wizard just slowly get more and more sloshed. He's watching his ever dwindling coin purse.
So what are we doing, guys?
My point is, thanks for joining us. Serac. Bravo, you must stay close. This is a den of thieves, and we are ill-equipped to stay here for very long. I understand.
Yes. Well, I'm a very strong boy, and I've got a mug of whiskey.
Serac, you're in charge of keeping him together. He has to stay close, at least until we get on the ship. We'll just... all right, how does this sound?
I'm a strong
someone-
human man.
Someone else.
Yes, Bravo. Yes.
he's such a strong, and she's gonna like play along with the yeah, so strong.
Yes, you're a very strong boy. Bravo. Carrion, please go and negotiate a lower price gold quickly before he gets any further drunk.
Yes, I suppose. I don't know what you expect me to. You're the business dwarf. What do you expect me to do?
All right, fine. Then,
Arm wrestle or something. I mean, we can defend the ship
Arm
off of
wrestler?
that. Yes.
I'm strong. I would
Right, all right,
wrestle her.
Yes.
right,
you-
all right.
Before he gets in there, sit down. Sit down before he sits down.
You three restrain the wizard. Just hold the wizard down. I'll try and talk the captain down on the price.
I think an arm wrestling match sounds great.
I think you're impetuous youth. And he walks off.
I think that was a compliment, and she's gonna take a sip of her wine, which is now mostly gone at this point.
So Braddock just like takes a big sigh, and he does up his belt, kind of screws up his curve, and he walks over to the captain.
So, do we have an accord?
Not in the typical sense of the word accord. We were wondering if we could discuss the price a bit.
Certainly, it could be discussed.
Well, it's just that 25 gold is a bit steep. We would be more comfortable with 15 gold.
He's a cheap one.
Well,
Bravo!
You wish to be taken to Waterdeep, housed, fed, 5 of you.
Aye,
That's
but
10 days, at least.
But we're willing to work for our passage.
Well, what work are you able to offer?
I have a strong back and a stout arm. I'm happy to pull my own weight. The druid and his companion there, they're just as capable, and
I'm a strong boy.
And there's our wizard.
I'm a human man. I'm strong and handsome.
Carrion just has an arm over his shoulder and over, kind of like looped under, so Bravo's arm is up here. No, Bravo's shorter, that's right. So he just has an arm around Bravo's shoulder, kind of like down. His staff is leaning on a chair next to the table. He just has his mug of beer. And he's just letting Bravo be Bravo. Just broadcasting to the world. And he's just drinking his mug of beer.
Well, if there's work to be done, I could do 20 gold for the journey.
When do you plan on leaving?
Tomorrow, before midday.
Right, so you'll need guards for the evening, right? What if we set off now, headed straight to your ship, and kept her safe until you left port? Then, when we got to Waterdeep, we stayed on the ship and kept her safe until she was unloaded and carefully reloaded. Provided guard duty, as it were.
We're good at protecting.
Well, I have a crew. Their job is to protect the ship.
Well, we can protect them while they protect the ship.
If 20 gold is too steep, then we could find additional duties for you and your friends to perform.
What do you mean by additional duty?
Well, it takes a lot of work to run a ship. Cooking, cleaning, the mast, keeping things running. Look
You
out.
want me to clean your mast?
No, that's not how ships work.
I must admit, I've never been on a boat before.
Oh, well.
Should have told you that. Should not have told you that.
I volunteer to not be on latrine duty.
You see, as the winds blow, you must adjust your sails to catch it, so that you may speed along on your path.
Aye.
Well,
I'm just gonna chime in and say, you're very well spoken for having drank so much. That's so impressive. Because, she drank half a bottle of whiskey on top of whatever she had before, so she's trying to butter up a little.
yes, well, it comes with practice, my dear.
All right.
How much practice? A lifetime.
I got a long way to go, and she's gonna look at Carrie.
That's not
Yes, darling.
something you should be trying to achieve.
But look how cool she is. She's got a ship. She's a captain, guy.
What would you do with a ship?
I would sail and arm wrestle people.
I bet you would do splendidly.
I mean, not as good as you.
Well, few are. So, if you're willing to learn and perform additional duties on top of protection from whatever we may encounter on our adventure to Waterdeep, then I could go as low as 17.
We still have rations, right? Like tons of rations.
Yeah.
Yes.
The only thing that we would possibly need is water. Because we only each have a flask. Oh, you can create water. So she's going to kind of start thinking 17. Well,
you can create water too and food.
no, I can't.
Yes, so I suppose on a ship out in the ocean you need fresh water?
Yes, that is a concern. That's why we ration the ship with casks of fresh water.
Yes, how much do you need? If you can load some more, I can supply a good deal.
Well, we typically provision ourselves as part of our stop here in Luskin. Should we need more, that's good to know that you have such an ability. I suppose your druidic nature lends itself to that. That could prove helpful should there be a storm or something that spoils our rations. But as of right now, it's taken care of.
I can make a hut.
How long will we be at sea?
Well, if the weather's fair and the wind is in our sails, then approximately 10 days.
10 days.
Indeed.
So 20 days.
That is what 10 days are.
Why'd you say it?
Yes,
It's not important.
So, he just cuts him right off. So, alright, 17 gold, and can we sleep on the vessel this evening?
Yes, that could be arranged.
Then are we all in agreement? He just looks at his party, his friends, his friendos.
I suppose we are. Everyone?
Yep.
Excellent.
Do I pay you or your first mate?
Well, seeing as how you've already bought me such a fine bottle of whiskey, you can pay me now.
All right.
Yes,
How do we explain to your first mate that we're to lodge on your ship this evening?
You tell him that Zhao has said that you are part of the crew now.
All right. Okay. He gets his coin purse off of his belt, and he just old maid counts out 17 coins.
Excellent. She scoops them up quickly and pockets them.
Do we get any kind of receipt?
Well, most of our business is conducted by word trust.
Trust.
Indeed. We may be pirates. We're not monsters.
All right. Well, if you'll excuse us, we should probably go and head towards the ship.
Very well. Sleep well.
Mart's gonna put her empty glass on the table and like.
Carrion finishes the rest of his beer and kind of peers into Bravo's mug. How's he doing on the whiskey?
I think he's mostly finished it at this point.
Yes, Bravo, would you mind if I have a sip of your drink?
Oh, yes. Well, it's pretty good.
And he kind of gets it out of his hand and like looks and kind of swishes it around. There's not much left, but he, you know, you're not going to waste good whiskeys or any whiskey. So, well, maybe some. And, he just knocks it back and finishes it. Yes.
All right.
How about some sleep? How does that sound?
Very good.
Is Grillian still like wrapped up in him?
Yeah, Grillion's like in his cloak, cuddled inside.
Is Grillian also drunk?
Grillian, no.
I thought they communicated telepathically. Wouldn't
They communicate, but she's not a part of him.
Inebriated by-
There's no physical connection.
Yeah, it's just telepathic.
Poor Grillian.
Right, so off to the ship then.
As you start to go, she sort of like waves over somebody, and a really like cracked and tan skinned woman comes over, and she sort of whispers to her, and this woman comes over. Her hair is brown, but it's sort of like bleached a lighter color. Obviously she spends a lot of time in the sun. She comes over and she says, "You the new crew?"
Yes, for the time being.
All right. I'm Noga. I'll lead you to the ship.
Thank you.
Let's go.
She just walks out. She doesn't even wait to see if you're following. So you head to the ship, and night falls, and that's where we're gonna end it for tonight.
Yay!
Which is nice and sad at the same time, because this is the last Storm King's Thunder before until the new year. Unfortunately, because of my work schedule. But it's been a lot of fun, and we're so glad that you guys came out and watched this craziness as we played.
Accomplished an objective. We did a thing. We started. We had a plan. We made the plan. We executed the plan, and we did it. And one.
I'm
No one
very
died.
proud of you guys. Yep. You know, there was no chaos. There was no murder. There
I
was no...
really wanted Braddock to do an arm
I
wrestling
wanted
match
it so bad.
to lower the price.
That would have been interesting. But anyways, we're very glad that you all joined us. We hope that you will join us again next, well, not me, but the rest of the Riff and Ravel crew next week for a one-shot, turn two-shot run by Joe.
And Sunday.
And this Sunday for another Operation Broken Sword Arma game run by Dave. That should be fun. Dota Squad's been doing some interesting things. I will not see you guys again until the new year. I'm so sorry. I will miss you all. Work happens. In the meantime, enjoy yourselves. Be nice to everybody. Play lots of games. Enjoy the holidays. And have a really great night.
Good night, everyone.
Thanks for being with us. Good night.
Bye.
We
I
forgot
missed
something.
something.
We're doing the one shot next week, and then we're taking a break on the 28th. So we actually will not be broadcasting on the 28th.
That's right.
But
We
next
won't
week
be
we
We'll
are.
broadcasting.
back
tomorrow.
up at the beginning of the year. So one more
So,
session until
One
the
more
end.
session until the new year.
Yeah.
Okay, now we can say goodbye.
For real, goodbye.
Thank you guys.
Good night.
How do we end the stream? I forgot.
Click the
It's been a
button.
while.
Ba-dum-bum.
Bye.